A warm welcome to Valencia 2005 and Louis Vuitton Act 4 of the 32nd America's Cup. The gladiatorial Spanish action shifts once more from the city's famous bullring to the newly created Port America's Cup, preparing to welcome some newcomers. 5 syndicates were making their debut here in Valencia. China Team, a joint venture between the Chinese and previous competitors Le Défi, launched their boat at Port America's Cup but found the going tough. Their debut match with Xocholoza was their only match racing victory. Another rookie was local hope Desafío Español. They made the brightest start of all the new syndicates, looking impressive early on. Sweden's Victory Challenge were also quick out of the gate. Magnus Holmberg's team were worried about lack of preparation time, but they always looked set to contest 5th place with the Spanish. Mascar's Latino Capitalia team brought the quota of Italian syndicates in the regatta up to 3, but their lack of match racing experience was clear early on. United Internet Team Germany faced the toughest task. Jesper Bank's boat, old and slow, but the experience would prove invaluable.
It will be Francisco De Angelis and Luna Rossa who get the slight advantage early on. But it's close. Take a look at this. This is quite aggressive by Team New Zealand, and they're pushing them away from the mark now. And this is a classic luffing battle now between these two. Emirates forcing them wide, just holding them out away from the mark as far as they can. And at the moment, Luna Rossa can do nothing. But now look at this. They think they've got an opportunity here. And Luna Rossa are going to try. Oh, they are. How close is this going to be? This is risky business, but they're going for it. Gutsy maneuver, brilliantly executed. And look at that. No holding back, but amazingly, Team New Zealand managed to hold on. But look how close these two are. Both these teams without a loss, but one of them is going to come over the line second, but who's it going to be? It's not too far where Luna Rossa can't make a challenge. But you'd have to say, the way the Kiwis are sailing at the moment, it's going to be very hard indeed to catch that time. Oh, now disaster though. Just when they thought they might have a chance of maybe catching some time. Look at that, a rip spinnaker. It's pretty much all over for Luna Rossa as it flails in the wind. Emirates Team New Zealand, they won't be smiling just yet, but they know that surely this big matchup between these two unbeaten teams is over.
The Kiwis come from behind to take the first of the big matchups, now for the second.
Flight 5, match 4. Alinghi the defenders up against BMW Oracle Racing. Definitely one of the biggest matchups of the week. The start's so important. And the experience on both these boats, second to none. And look at the timing of this. Sensational by the defenders. Right on the button. And away they go. A good start for them. 9 seconds the lead they have, the early stages. Working very hard to hoist that spinnaker as quickly as possible. And BMW, well, they've lost a lot of ground. They ran the mark now, coming up towards it, but it's 25, maybe 28 seconds adrift. Have they got time? That's the question. Despite the fact that BMW Oracle Racing pushed them as hard as they could, Alinghi were just too strong on the day. Peter Holmberg and his team crossing the line. And that's going to be BMW Oracle Racing's first loss. And Alinghi, of course, remaining unbeaten so far in this regatta.
Valencia greeted the king on day 4, and he joins Desafío Español as the 18th man. Clearly his presence helped, as the Spanish claimed both points on offer. Mixed fortunes for the Sicilians aboard the Plus 39 Challenge. A false start, a broken rudder and spinnaker problems, but they still managed to finish in 9th place. 2 places ahead of them was the French K Challenge. a little disappointed with 7th overall. The penultimate day of match racing saw the only unbeaten teams in the regatta go head-to-head.
I'm going to go out there to win, and that'll put us ahead. So that's the plan. That's plan A. There is no plan B.
And the Kiwis having to fight for position here at the pre-start. And they are working as hard as they possibly can. They really are throwing these boats around. Look how much water they're churning up. And look at this, they're getting close again, very close indeed.
Trey's on it. Still 4 metres. 3 metres.
Richard Meacham there, calling it as they head towards the start. Emirates wanted the right side, but Alinghi look as though they may have it.
Just okay at this. Keep it down a little.
Jero Lomas, bowman for Emirates Team New Zealand, calling the start. And away they go then. And sure enough, Alinghi look as though they've got that favoured right side, and Emirates having to go left. Really not a lot in it. Until we see that first pass, we won't really be able to tell. And Alinghi have kept that lead, but only by a length or half a length. And it has to be said, Dean Barker and his team are in trouble now against the defenders. As they come to that mark, we'll see the gap. Rounding the mark. See the speed of the boat here. Emirates trying desperately to catch Alinghi, but they're not making mistakes, and they're paying for it now. Look at the gap, 31 seconds now at that first mark, so it's all to do for Dean Barker. Not impossible, but hard. Coming up to the second mark then, Alinghi dropping their spinnaker, and they've maintained that margin at the second mark. Good work by Brad Butterworth and the team, as he looks back at his old teammates who caught up a little bit. Dean Barker, who can do nothing. He's been looking at the back of Alinghi for most of the day. And it's going to be the defenders, Alinghi, who head to the line as the only unbeaten boat in the regatta.
Alinghi understandably delighted. While the win may only have been worth a point in psychological terms, the victory was huge.
And there was another duel taking place in the middle of the table. Victory Challengers win over Desafío Español, giving them 5th place overall. Match 3, Flight 11, BMW Oracle Racing and Emirates Team New Zealand in the pre-start. This, the battle for outright 2nd place in the regatta.
2 metres. It's still closing. 1 metre. 1 metre now.
Oh, how close can you be? 1 metre, he says, more like inches, and that's 30 tons of boat heading your way. Richard Meacham, bowman of Emirates Team New Zealand, cool as you like. Such confidence, such precision between these two crews. Great match racing. Gavin Brady heads over the line, likewise Dean Barker, and it's a very even start, so we're in for a cracking match between these two. If the pre-start was anything to go by, let's hope it continues. And look at the work being put in here. BMW Oracle throwing everything at Team New Zealand. New Zealand just covering them. They will be exhausted, and there's one more leg to go. The grinders really having their work cut out. And as for 2nd place overall, Emirates Team New Zealand, as you can see at the line here, well ahead of BMW.
But there could be only one winner, and the Act 4 honours went to Alinghi, confirming their rightful status as the cup holders. Alinghi winning every match ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand, BMW Oracle Racing 3rd, Luna Rossa 4th. Equal points then for K Challenge, Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia, and likewise plus 39. Shosholoza, no points. But of course this is just the start of the 2005 season, and there's a lot more racing to come. Fleet racing here in Valencia for Act 5, and the new waters of Sweden and Italy yet to be conquered. But for now, the dominant force in the America's Cup is still very much Alinghi, as the fleet heads into Act 5.
What a magnificent sight. 12 majestic boats in their full glory. "300 tons of carbon, nearly 1,000 feet of waterline length, and all of it looking for that same piece of water." The Swedish Victory Challenge, it seems that fleet racing suits them more than match racing. Way out in front, and their spinnaker has torn. They'll be working desperately hard to get another one up. That was the Swedes, but as they do so, the red boat of Mascalzone passes them. And there we can see Mascalzone, they've got all the impetus. They are overjoyed.
Day 2 of the fleet racing and Port America's Cup was buzzing as the weekend crowds came to see the whole fleet in action.
As we come to Mark 1, it's Emirates Team New Zealand who are way out in front. What an amazing sight as we see these helmsmen carefully threading their way through a maze of boats. There's no room for error. Emirates Team New Zealand barge inside Luna Rossa. They can't do that. Oh my goodness, they've hit the Spaniards. And the Spanish have lost control. They've gone into the K Challenge. The Kiwis have caused carnage here. Meanwhile, the Swedish boat is left clear. What another great day for the Swedish team. They're going to take the win.
The final day, the final race, and somewhat unexpectedly, Victory Challenge is on top. But as well as facing the Big Four, Magnus Holmberg's team also have to contend with an unresolved protest hearing against them. A post-race inspection revealed compartments inside the boat were filled with seawater and may be in breach of measurement rules. Victory Challenge take to the water, still in the lead on paper, but with doubt as to their position.
And there we can see the whole fleet are moving to the right, except the Spaniards. And there's the Swedish challenge boat and Mascalzone. They're on starboard. They have right of way here, but the Spanish are approaching on a port tack. But they seem to have managed to tack underneath. A very cheeky manoeuvre. And as we come down to the finish, the Spanish still out in front, but there are 4 boats behind who could still take it. The Spanish just managing to hold off Mascalzone Latino. Are they going to hold them off at the finish? This is so close. This is going right to the wire. Great comeback from Mascalzone, but the Spanish just managed to hold them off, and they are delighted.
Tension mounts on the Swedish boat as they return to the dock for the international jury to announce their decision and finally inform them of their fate.
Yesterday, the measurement committee did a spot check, and they discovered some compartments which could hold water, and in fact did hold water. And this is an infringement of the measurement rule.
Victory Challenge lose their points from race 4. Luna Rossa are tied on points with Alinghi, but a countback gives them first place. The delighted Italians celebrate in traditional style.